Chapter 4, Mishnah 4. We learned in the previous Mishnah that only an expert can rule that a blemish of a Bechor is permanent, thus permitting it for slaughter. This Mishnah discusses what the law is if someone who is not an expert rules on a blemished Bechor. If someone who is not an expert examines a blemished Bechor and rules that it has a permanent blemish, and the Bechor was then slaughtered on the basis of his word, it must be buried. Since the ruling of a non-expert is invalid, the meat is forbidden for benefit, and the non-expert must pay the owner of the Bechor from his own funds, since he caused the owner to lose the animal by wrongfully permitting it for slaughter. The Mishnah now turns to the law regarding a loss caused by an incorrect ruling that was given by someone who judged a monetary case or made a halachic decision. If someone judged a monetary case and exempted someone who was actually obligated to pay, or obligated someone who was actually exempt from paying, or ruled that something is tameh when it was actually tahor, or ruled that something is tahor when it was actually tameh, the law in each of these cases is, what he has done is done, i.e., his verdict stands and cannot be reversed, and he must pay the damaged party from his own funds for the loss caused by his incorrect ruling. But if the judge was an expert who was approved by the Beis Din, he is not obligated to pay. The Mishnah cites an incident that illustrates this law. It once happened that there was a cow whose womb had been removed, and Rabbi Tarfon ruled that the cow was a terefa, and therefore it fed to the two dogs. Afterwards, the case came before the sages, and they ruled that the cow was permitted to be eaten, because the loss of a womb does not make an animal into a terefa, based on the following. Todos, the doctor said, no cow or sow, female pig, leaves Alexandria, Egypt, unless its womb is cut out, so that it should not give birth. We see that an animal without a womb can live and is therefore not considered a terefa. Upon hearing this ruling, Rabbi Tarfon said, your donkey has gone, Tarfon. That is, he will have to sell his donkey in order to pay the cow's owner for the loss caused by his ruling. Rabbi Akiva said to him, Rabbi Tarfon, you are not obligated to pay. Since you are considered an expert by the court and have permission to judge, and whoever is considered an expert by the court is not obligated to pay for a mistaken ruling.